Ethereum is finally moving to ETH 2.0 this year. Ethereum is ditching proof of work. Ethereum will no longer be able to be mined soon. That's what they say. That's what's reported. And that's what is on their roadmap right now. Ethereum has been moving, there's some irony here. Ethereum has been moving to proof of stake since 2017. Ethereum has been working on being no longer mineable since 2017. That's 5 years ago. 5 years ago, man. Every year, oh, don't mine it. They're moving to proof of stake, man. I've been mining Ethereum the whole time. Ethereum GPU mining was so exciting, enticing, and honestly, really lucrative. Basically taking a gaming PC and then slapping some extra GPUs on it and earning huge passive income, mining Ethereum, the second biggest cryptocurrency, which on average year over year also proves to be a better investment than Bitcoin, just to put all that on the record. On top of that, so many crazy things have been built on top of Ethereum. DeFi, NFTs, dApps, right? Decentralized finance, non-fungible tokens, decentralized applications, yield farming, all this kinds of just crazy stuff that allows you to have fun, operate in a decentralized manner, like DEXs, decentralized exchanges, making decentralized trades with no intermediary, no KYC. All this stuff is revolutionary. There's also something else that's really big with Ethereum. Their transaction fees, gas fees. Yeah, that's part of the whole Ethereum 2.0 thing, right? They want to move to a proof of stake network to go green and also become scalable. All right. They also have validator nodes, and the whole beacon chain. ETH 2.0 is already up and live. Okay, Ethereum 2.0 exists, and people are earning passive income staking Ethereum by running validator nodes on ETH 2.0 right now. But there's also plebs like me who are still mining Ethereum with GPUs and ASIC miners. ASIC miners are purpose-built Ethereum mining rigs. All they do is mine the ETH hash mining algorithm, or sometimes some algorithms that are very close. But either way, the point is there are a lot of ways to earn with Ethereum, but the real focus and point here is that they say they are really doing it. They are finally moving to Ethereum 2.0. But when exactly do they say they're moving to Ethereum 2.0 instead of just a whole broad year, right? And what's going to happen to all the Ethereum mining rigs? Because spoiler, mining is a lot of fun and mining rigs are really cool. Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking cryptocurrency. Mining changed my life. You feel a lot different when you spend a couple $1,000s on mining rigs as opposed to just swiping your credit card. Hope this works out for you, buddy. Please tell Miss Vosk to clean her mining rig. Ugh, it's gross. If you round up almost 4 years ago, this is little baby me on Bitcoin talk. When Ethereum goes to proof of stake this year, 2017, what are you gonna do? Currently, Ethereum is on ETH hash mining algorithm, which was supposed to be ASIC resistant, but now it's dominated by ASIC miners. Okay, it's a beast. Okay, I can now officially confirm that ETH 2.0 won't launch by July. Stay tuned for the official confirmation that it won't launch by July 2021 either. They can't afford to just break and ruin their chain. Are you interested in earning some easy passive income mining Bitcoin? Well, thanks to our monthly sponsor, Compass, they can make that possible. They're based out of the US. They can ship miners to your house or connect you with big farms to have them co-located there. And they even service the entire world. Learn more about Compass with our link out in the video description below. EIP 1559 made gas fees worse, and it also enriched Ethereum bag holders by burning Ethereum and trying to move ETH to instead being inflationary to deflationary by nature, which from a long-term Ethereum investment point of view, that's actually a bullish thing. In the short term, Ethereum has been dipping in price, so Well, that's the short-term answer. There's also been the Ethereum difficulty bomb. What the Ethereum developers have targeted here, which just to be clear, there's not a single Ethereum developer that mines Ethereum. Let that sink in. Do you think these guys really care about miners or mining? They don't even mine. Of course they don't. It's human nature. They're greedy and only care about their own interests, at least to a degree. Above all, zero allegiance to something they don't do, and most of them are taking the environmental stance, and they're actually against it.
Ooh, NFTs!
June 2022 is what they're saying. But there's some information here that just simply makes that unlikely.
I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
On the Ethereum website, it states ETH2 researchers are working on ways to accelerate the merge. It will probably happen earlier than expected. Vitalik Buterin went on the Bankless podcast, and on there, he spoke freely about the situation with Ethereum 2.0, the progress, and the impending merge. And just to be clear, let's talk about the merge just to make this very clear. The merge is basically combining Ethereum 1.0 chain, which is the original Ethereum blockchain. Technically not the Ethereum because of the whole DAO hack rollback stuff, but that's, how Ethereum Classic was born. But that's not the point of today's video. Stay on topic, stay focused. So, Ethereum 1.0 is what you know as Ethereum. It is the mineable blockchain. It's what everything lives on right now. It's just Ethereum. Ethereum 2.0 is an additional blockchain, the new blockchain that is supposed to be built to scale, have cheaper transactions, and is ran by proof of stake. Basically, the validator nodes are the way to mine that chain as opposed to running computers and processing transactions and so forth.
How far along are we? Are we like 60% of the way there? Are we 40% of the way there?
I would say around 50. I'd be willing to go past 60 once the merge is fully complete, and I'd be willing to go past 80 once we have a full sharding implementation.
So let's talk about that. Ethereum 2.0 will actually not even be fully built out before they try to merge the blockchains and get rid of Ethereum 1.0. And again, to just fully flesh this out, the merge is merging all of the history of Ethereum 1.0, all of the coins, all of the everything into the Ethereum 2.0 chain. Once that happens, mining's done, and the entire blockchain is ran by the validator nodes. They are now completing the consensus blockchain model here. They are running, again, proof of stake, PoS. But what's interesting though is that the merge happens at what Vitalik says is 60%. He claims they are at about 50%. There's additional infrastructure and just build out that needs to happen with Ethereum 2.0, like sharding. Yeah, check your pants. It's with a D, son. Sharding, not sharting. Basically, the short answer of what is sharding is a scaling mechanism. It's a way to, instead of dealing with the entire blockchain all the time, you deal with pieces. And they build in redundancy, and nodes keep different pieces of the shard and whatever else. It's supposed to build out a resilient, yet more scalable blockchain network. Andrew Keys of Dharma Capital says that we will see the merge happen here middle 2022. Well, we're going to find out sooner or later. Ethereum 2.0, also called Serenity, is operating on the Beacon chain. Okay, and Ethereum 1.0 right now is just ETH 1.0 Ethereum, and it's the mainnet, or Ethereum mainnet chain or blockchain, right? The merge moves the Beacon chain into mainnet. It becomes mainnet. In a way, it sort of consumes the old Ethereum 1.0 blockchain, right? And then it just operates and runs the blockchain, Ethereum 2.0, just as Ethereum from that point forward, moving forward. Right now, there's 9 million Ethereum locked up, or really that's been transitioned already. It's a one-way street, by the way, make sure you understand that, to Ethereum 2.0. That's $28 billion. There's $28 billion in kind of like a glorified test net. That's crazy. Like, nothing lives on Ethereum 2.0 except hopes and dreams, okay? And if Brian Spillner taught me anything, you can't just race on hopes and dreams.
There's no engines. What are they planning on racing with? Hopes and dreams?
So Ethereum 2.0 is heating up. Forget watch the burn, right? All eyes are on Ethereum. Competitors are popping up and everywhere making huge progress. Cardano, Solana, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, Phantom, among many other alternative blockchains, Harmony, right? We've talked about Polygon Matic is kind of like a layer 2 solution, but what's the point of Polygon once they move to Ethereum 2.0? I wonder, is that now a bad bet? Well, who knows if we'll ever even see Ethereum 2.0. I feel like I've been waiting a lifetime. Truly, I'll have waited half a decade to see Ethereum 2.0 if they hit their new target date. And for me personally, I don't think they're going to hit it. I'll bet on it. I don't think they're going to hit it. I think they're going to squeeze it through by the end of the year, kind of out of principle. They don't want to add another, tick up in the year column on this thing. I bet we'll see Ethereum 2.0 in the end of Ethereum mining, November, December 2022. Hey, we all want to make educated guesses on things and prices and whatever else.
I can see the future!
Look, I'm not in the coding labs, right? Vitalik says that, 50%, almost to 60%. If you think about it, it's taking them, this is, a little bit of a reach. This isn't a perfect example. But it's kind of taking them about 10% per year. Well, that means we need about 60. That means we need about 6 years to get to 60%, which is like more or less the end of the year. Pretty easy math. That's like one of those things that I forget the fallacy it's called, but like you could just kind of like run the numbers whatever way that kind of makes sense to illustrate your point. I'm not saying this is a foolproof thing. I just kind of a little bit of a fun analysis in a way. Yeah, Ethereum has just always been late. They are a behemoth that moves like a slug. So yeah, if anyone who was holding their breath on their deadlines, well, they're all dead. They're all dead. Just remember that. So yeah, that's basically the scoop, kind of where we're at, what the situation is. A lot of people don't know this, or they fail to accept it. Probably about 80%, 90% of all GPU mining profitability. I really need to sit down and crunch all the numbers and run through this stuff. But I can very confidently say about 80% of GPU mining profitability all revolves around Ethereum. And when Ethereum is no longer mineable, even though Ethereum is also ASIC mined, which has sucked up so much GPU mining profitability, it just blows my mind. People that don't even talk about it that much. I don't know. It's like, it's almost just weird. Yeah, once Ethereum is no longer mineable, all of those GPUs are going to need a home. All of the alternative cryptocurrency projects that can be mined with graphics cards will not be able to soak up all that hash rate. We are going to see an absolute flood of graphics cards into the secondhand market used. Gamers will finally rejoice. People's, gaming rig builds, the cheapest part, it's going to go from the most expensive part of the build right now is the graphics card. Ethereum 2.0 is going to flip the script. The cheapest part of their build is going to be the freaking graphics card. Watch. You'll see. Or I'll be wrong. I'm either right or wrong every time. Trust me. But anyway, my point here, again, I'm not trying to be like a doomsayer or, negative, whatever, but the summary is that once Ethereum is no longer mineable, the GPUs are just really screwed in the short term. There may be, a champion that comes along eventually that, brings on the next golden era of GPU mining. But times are changing. When do you ever see exciting projects even launch on proof of work and be mineable? Which, look, I love mining, just to be clear. I want to see more. But seriously, every headline, every exciting project, every single project in the entire last crypto bull cycle, not a single one was mineable. What do you think the future is going to look like? Maybe there'll be a trend shift for numerous reasons because there are a lot of interesting benefits to proof of work, especially from just kind of establishing value on your cryptocurrency. But hey, anyway, I can talk about this all day. I'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure to slap that subscribe button. My name is Vosk. I work for Tails, the most beautiful pup in the world ever. Fun fact, or actually sad fact, Tails is terrified of thunder and lightning. If it's storming outside, she hears rain, she'll start looking up at the windows, and if she sees a flash of lightning, she gets really scared and leaves. Thunder also terrifies her, and it's just really sad. She's so cute and she's so tough, but something about her just, animal innate characteristics, she's like, look, I don't like lightning, I don't like thunder. Lost a couple ancestors due to that. But hopefully I don't lose you, because we're uploading daily, so I will see you tomorrow. Slap that subscribe button, leave a comment along with your Ethereum address, and let me know when you think ETH 2.0 will actually happen.